Hello everyone, Jorge Huertas once again with all of you. Today I'm going to show you what is and how to create value content. Well, this is very important because this is a process of how important value content is and how can we make it. Create digital and analog content to achieve a commercial objective or academic is part of being created and make different stuff. So it's extremely important. The most common mistake in this process is to copy what others have already done, organizations, companies, or people, and don't make any differences. A distinctive seal must be found, something that makes you different in the creation of the content, even though the subject could be very similar, but you create your own style. It is important to define the communication channel, communication tone, and wondering why people will watch your content and become loyal. So this video is very interesting because so many people ask me, Jorge, how can I make value content? And actually, there's not just one straight answer because you can make value content in many different ways. A lot of content is very unoriginal and with lack of creativity. So you need to think different and see different ways that you can create something that makes you special. Okay, so before we start explaining this, if you like what we do, if you like our project, please subscribe, turn on the bell, give us a like, share our content, give us a comment. It will really help us a lot to keep working on this and make it bigger every time. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do when you want to develop value content is, what am I going to do? And it sounds like a very easy question, but actually is not. Nowadays, there are different ways that you can create content in different channels. Could be a podcast, could be a YouTube channel like this, or could be on Twitch, or in many different ways. So you need to really ask, what am I going to do? And because you ask that, you have to know, why am I going to do it? Because some people doesn't know. They say like, yeah, I want to make TikToks, but I really don't know why. I just have to like make it. And actually you have to have a stronger answer. It's very important to have a clear objective. What do you want to do? Some people just want to make famous and make a lot of money, because with these kind of situations you can do that, but you have to have a stronger purpose. For example, for me, share what I know is extremely important, and I really like that. So I think that could be helpful. And of course, you have to have reference. I mean, you don't start all of a sudden. You have been watching some other content creators, and that's good. However, you need to start focusing on yourself. So I create like 6 ways, like 6 different situations when you can create a content. And the first thing is that you need to develop value content. You have to make a value proposition to do that. So you need to ask yourself, what makes your content different? You cannot make the same thing that someone else does, because they already have community, they already achieve something that you don't have right now. So it's extremely important that you ask yourself that and see what makes you different. If you don't know how to make a value proposition, please check our channel here, because that's the first video that I make in Spanish and in English, and I think that it could really help you a lot. Why will people look at your content? You need to ask yourself that. If you are creating something, it has to be different, but of course you have to have something that makes you different and creates value with that. And will they be loyal to your content is extremely important, because you have to develop a community, so that could be sustainable in the long run. Of course, you have to think in the communication channel. If you are going to create content, where is it going to be displayed? On Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Twitch? What? Why? And you have to be aware that you need to have control of that. And of course, like if I have $1 for every person that say like I'm gonna make a YouTube channel, I will be millionaire right now, because people start with a lot of energy, and after 2 or 3 videos that don't work, they don't do it anymore because they don't have discipline and they think that is easy until they have to do it. Of course, the tone of communication is extremely important, and is of course depending of the subject that your channel is working, all the kind of content that you are creating, you are making it. So you have to be aware of that if you want to have a formal tone, an informal tone, a urban tone, and humoristic tone. Because for example, this is a channel of innovation and education, and that's why I talk the way I do, because I'm a professor. So I talk like if I was giving a lecture or if I was having a class. That's the way I do. I usually do, and when my students watch me, they know how am I talking. Of course, technology resources are extremely important because that can improve the quality of your content. However, if you have um if you haven't developed your own style, it will be very different. That you could use drones, you can use holograms or whatever you like, but the content is still going bad. Like for example, like the Transformers movies, they have like the best technology and visual effects, however the scripts are very bad. Of course, the process of innovation, it's extremely important. Even though that you start with something, the style and content is developing and it's growing. So you have to keep evolving with your content. If you watch the first video that I did 6 years ago and you compare what I'm doing today, it's way different because my style, my graphic line, it has been evolving, and I've been putting a lot of innovation on that. So that's important. Um, Something that is also very important as well is that you have to keep asking yourself how I can make it better, and keep evolving what you are doing. The process of creating value content, it's extremely important. If you are good in something, for example, history or math or whatever, and you want to create, you have to choose the proper channel, a podcast or whatever you want to do, but you have to develop a community around that, because actually that's the people that will be watching your content. Otherwise, it won't be possible in the long run. As a conclusion, we can say that creating value in content is basically what allows you to have loyalty from your customers and from the users that are watching what you do. To create valuable content, it is essential to study and continually be updating. Technical skills are very important for being able to communicate clear and didactic. That's something very important, because some people have the knowledge, but they don't know how to do it, and they don't have the communication skills to develop that. So that's something very important as well. Thank you so much. I hope this video was a big help in your education. Please subscribe to our channel, Design Thinking 24/7. Follow us on social media. Remember that our Udemy courses are already available. In the description of this video, you can find the link. Remember that every Monday we have a new video in Spanish, and every Thursday a new video in English. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.